$30 billion is what any company that comes up with a vaccine for COVID-19 is set to make during the period of the pandemic. Going forward, projections are that they could make anywhere between $2 and $25 billion per year. Is coming up with a vaccine for COVID-19 because of the megabucks, or is it really to get a cure for this disease? Hi, welcome to Depth, Not Just Headlines, with me, Deborah Anderson. A vaccine usually takes 6 to 7 years to be created. However, these scientists are looking at creating a vaccine for COVID-19 this year, which would mean it would have been created in months, which would be approximately 5 to 6 times faster than any vaccine ever made. Now, they are claiming that because COVID-19 is a part of the coronavirus and they had already created vaccines for, previous coronaviruses, they believe that they can skip several steps, right? And this would help them to come up with a solution faster. Now, this seems to be a COVID-19 vaccine sprint. And who's winning? Yes, a vaccine is imperative to ease the COVID-19 pandemic. However, the speed with which a lot of these scientists and pharmaceutical companies are trying to put out a vaccine is nothing short of a sprint. What's the end game, though? A legitimate cure? Patented drug? Billions of dollars, or kudos? Now, according to wealth management mogul Morgan Stanley, there are 6 COVID-19 contenders to focus on. These are Moderna's, who analysts believe is ahead of the pack as its potential vaccine can be manufactured at a large scale quickly to help victims of COVID-19. The other candidates are CanSino Biologics, University of Oxford in partnership with AstraZeneca, BioNTech partnership with Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, and finally, Sanofi, GlaxoSmithKline collaboration. Morgan Stanley has been pushing possible timeframes and capabilities of these companies, leading to a surge in shares being bought. Other pharma giants who have not made Morgan Stanley's list are also experiencing a surge in shares. One such company is Novavax, the company being backed by Bill Gates, who invested nearly $400 million to help advance their vaccine production. Now, over 100 companies are currently trying to come up with a vaccine. However, only 6, the ones that I mentioned earlier, are actually being looked at to come up with one in like a matter of months, right? And if production should get underway, we'd be looking at vaccines being sent out or being distributed by fall 2020. Now let's do some calculations. There are 7.7 billion people in the world. Could one vaccine work, or would there be a need for multiple vaccines? How many people would actually want to take the vaccines? Let's say 1 billion people are on board. In the US, it is projected to cost $10 to $20 per dose or per treatment, up to $15 in Europe, and up to $10 elsewhere in the world. That information was received from Investopedia. So, with the average cost being $15, that would be approximately $15 billion in earnings for whichever company comes out with that vaccine. Now, we're being conservative here because Morgan & Stanley, as I said earlier, is projecting 10 to 30 billion in the midst of the pandemic, and anywhere from 2 to 25 billion going forward. No wonder Gilead was trying to run with remdesivir earlier on in the game, hoping to get approval from the Food and Drug Administration, FDA. I'm not saying that a vaccine isn't important, but taking their time to get it right is also imperative. Not a race to get megabucks. These companies are touting figures like 10 to 30 million doses per month, and the production line and several 100 million per month by the middle of 2021. Now, we're saying that we'd have hundreds of millions of vaccines produced in less than a year. How can this be when there's a shortage of the medical glass needed to store the vaccines? That's the next question. Let us wait and see. In the meantime, though, the next question is which country will be creating the vaccine? One of these entities has already sent billions of orders to India. Now, why India? Because India has the largest vaccine factory in the world. And we're hearing that it definitely won't be China, even though China is where just about everything in this world is normally made. But if we think about it, would they really consider going to China, especially since all these allegations are that the disease started there? Well, let us wait and see. What do you think? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thanks for watching. I'm Deborah Anderson.